So what this is called is variable data, and you use Excel to do this. So I have my design here. This is my base template design, and I have my Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to delete this column here. And so I have a first name, last name, company, address, city, state, zip. I could have sentences here, copy, etc. So in Excel, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go to File, Save As on my desktop. And basically for variable data, you need data. So that's where Excel comes in. I'm going to save this as a workbook 2. I'm going to save it as a comma delimited file. This is just kind of more of a standard Excel file. I'll save it and then turn this off. And then I'm going to actually then open up my CSV file here on my desktop. I'm going to do a save as again. And now I'm going to change it from Unicode text back to CSV. I'll have to do this twice. Save over my original. So now I should have a working CSV file. I'll dump this, that I can use to pull data from and then map it here. So to map your data in InDesign, just click on a text box. So this variable data in particular is text-based. I'll go up to Window, Utilities, and then Data Merge. And so the Data Merge window is going to let me actually map this Excel spreadsheet file to this design. So I'm going to hit this little menu here at the corner and then hit Select Data Source. Then I'm going to select my spreadsheet file and then hit Open. Now you can see, so much like how InDesign read my original Photoshop file, it's reading my spreadsheet file here. And so what I'm going to do is select the area that I want my first name to show up, and then just click on this first name icon here. And you can see that it adds this extra caret. So I kind of put carets around where I want my first name and last name to go into design to show somebody where I'm thinking these things are going to go, what font I think I want it to be in, etc. So at this point I'm just mapping it here. So I'll select last name, click last name, select company, click company. I'm basically mapping where I want, what data from the spreadsheet I want into my design here. Clicking city, clicking state, clicking zip. Okay, so now you can see it went from one caret circling these to 2 carets. These could even be different names. I could have called it first. It'll just pull exactly what's on the top row of your spreadsheet and name it accordingly. This is not a standard format of naming things by any means. You could have different columns name different things from Excel. The key here is that InDesign reads the columns from Excel for you. Now from here, this data merge box, I can click preview, and here you can see that I can actually preview all of the different, so I used your names from this class as a sample, including my own. I can see that what I'm doing is previewing each basically row in my spreadsheet here in the design. Here's what it's going to look like, right? Let me go ahead and say, okay, you know what? I want to make this font bigger in my design. Let's say that, right? I can make this. Let's see what it looks like stroked text. Okay. Essentially, now I can see here's what happens in the design and what it's going to look like. Okay, fine. Let's just say I was happy with that. All right. How do I make a PDF of this design? And you can tell this is a one-page design here. I'll go into my pages palette. This is a one-page design. How do I make multiple printouts so I can send to the multiple versions so I can send to the printer one file and they can just run the job for me and send me back many envelopes with different names on it so I can stick it in the mailbox and send it away. In my data merge panel here, I'll just select that drop down, and it's very simply export to PDF. So go ahead and do that. You know what I'd want to do? Well, I can update this original spreadsheet file to just keep that in mind. But I'll go export to PDF, and then I'll say all records. So it calls every row in the spreadsheet a record. Every time I clicked and saw a different piece of data, it was a record. I'll say all records, hit OK. Then specify where I want my PDF to be saved, or what file format version. So I'm just going to do high quality print. You can add crops, you can use bleeds on it, all these different options here. Any option you want for a PDF. Hit export. Pick where you want it to go. I'll just do my desktop, call it envelope, do save. Now it tells me no overset text was generated when merging records. So that means that text was not so long that it kind of went outside the text box, like something like that. We didn't lose any data. It was all exported from the in full. Okay. So there's no overset text or missing text otherwise. Okay, so I'll open up my PDF file, and then over here in Acrobat Pro here, under my Pages panel, I can see that I have a different name for each design automatically generated here. So I can actually run this thing on my home printer or at a press and have all those different versions. So let's say you wanted a direct mail piece that had a different message for each individual based on whatever criteria. Maybe they're from Illinois and you want to communicate them in one way. Maybe they're in a higher level position within the company and you want to give them a message that's different from someone in a lower position, or for instance. You can kind of target different demographics this way in a design, just like that through InDesign. So just so you know that there's this is possible, I wanted to